Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining in. Um, you know what? Before we start, let me just fix the background a little. There we go. All right. So, good evening and welcome to this introduction webinar to the Coronavirus Challenge Box Hackathon. The goal of this webinar is to orient you as to who we are organizing this event and the intentions of the hackathon itself and the way it's going to work. And at the end, if you have any questions, we're gonna take those questions. So to begin with, my name is Dvir Tsanua. I'm from a company called Bli Hackathons. We are a company that specializes in organizing hackathons in normal life, pre-corona life. Our specialty is in organizing hackathons for corporations. We help them come up with new products and new processes. This corona crisis, when it started, it became very clear to us that we have to use our abilities and our knowledge to do good. And we wanted to create a platform for people who want to contribute and help with problems and challenges relating to the corona crisis to also do good. So these were the motivations behind the Coronavirus Challenge Box. And it's a virtual hackathon, as you can probably understand. And let's talk a little about the way this process is planned and designed. First, I must say, this is the first time we are running an online hackathon. We usually do the hackathons face-to-face. So the process might alter along the way, and we would also love to get your feedback or your inputs about how we can make it better. So the hackathon is an open event. That means people can join in whenever they want. The hackathon itself, the plan is to open each challenge for 7 days. During these 7 days, you will be welcome to work in teams and suggest your solutions to these challenges. We already have 2 challenges up in the air, and we're planning to add a couple more. We offer 2 platforms for you to work during the hackathon. The first platform is called Discord. Discord is it offers chat channels. Each channel has a different objectives. And using this platform, you can meet potential teammates and ask questions of us, the organizers, or of the mentors. I've seen some people having a little trouble with it, so I'm gonna share my screen to show you how this thing works. So, Discord. I'm an admin, so I have all the channels open as users according to what you've selected. In the beginning, you will see different types of channels. So when you first log into Discord, you see this welcome channel in which you cannot actually type. There is also a welcome channel in Hebrew. We're an Israeli company, so we have a majority of Hebrew-speaking participants. For just general chat and introductions and saying hi and so on, you have the general chat channel. And to ask us technical questions, you have the technical support channel. These are all the general channels. For chat that has to do specifically with the hackathon, you have these channels. You have the hackathon chat and the team building chat. Our recommendation is to log on to Discord, to go to the team building channel and introduce yourselves. Say something like, hi, I'm a developer. Hi, I'm from a medical profession. I want to work on so-and-so challenge or on so-and-so category. And I'm looking for these types of teammates. Or I have this idea that I want to work on. Under the challenges tab, you can chat about topics specific to the challenges that have already been published. Now notice that once you select the challenge that you want to participate, oh, look, Bill Jobs is already doing that. Good job, Bill. So you can see that on the side, you can see the people who've already picked their challenge. So if you tap their name, you can see the challenge that they've picked and their professional background. So you also are able to chat directly with these people. You can just type here, type it in a message, and you can also directly chat with people whom you find interesting. These are only the online participants. If you scroll down, you see other participants which are offline. You can also message them. One last thing you can see here on Discord is information channels. The information channels are read-only channels that have read-only information. We're planning to add more information to them, specifically more support materials as the hackathon progresses. So in short, I'll give you time for questions in a few minutes. I see someone open their microphone. So don't worry. But you coughed on us, so now we all have to go into quarantine. So in short, the best place to start is to go to the team building channel and start messaging. I also recommend not to just write a message and then disappear, but keep the window open during the day or install the Discord app so that you get notified about new messages. If you just type in a message and leave and never come back, then nothing is going to happen. So this is one platform and it's called Board. The other platform is called Shawi. I don't have it here now to screen share for you, but it's a very simple platform. On this platform, once you have your teammates, you go on it, you register as a team, and you can also use it to submit your projects once they're ready. So you have the Discord platform in order to chat and talk and form your team, and you have another platform where you can submit your projects. In addition, we're planning to have every day at about this time, 6 p.m. Israel time. It might be a little late, a little earlier or a little later, depending on the time frame of the mentors, like virtual office hours with the mentors that we've brought for you. We have really top-notch mentors, people who are not very familiar with their field of knowledge, but also very familiar with the particularities of what happens during the Corona crisis. So every day at around 5 or 6, we'll let you know on Discord and in the Hackathon Facebook group, who's the mentor that is going to talk and when exactly the webinar is going to happen. And you're welcome to come up, join, and ask questions of the mentor. So this is going to happen every day in the early evening or afternoon Israel time. For those of you who are not Israel time, that means GMT +2. So this is about how the competition works. Regarding deadlines, we're planning to have project submissions every Sunday for challenges that are published. If we see that it's not enough time or that this kind of structure is not effective, we will change it and let you know. Again, messages will mostly go through on Discord, on the Facebook group, and sometimes on email. Until we get the ball rolling, maybe sometimes you will also get WhatsApp messages like some of you got today. Regarding the challenges, right now we have two challenges up. We have, and both of these challenges have to do with prevention of infection. One of them is about the humidity in the room, and the other has to do with creating homemade means of preventing infection for people who have a person positive for COVID-19 at their home. In addition to these two challenges, we're going to open challenges in other areas, which also would have to do more with coding. As we've seen that many of you registered have to do with coding. Tomorrow we will start a challenge that has to do with taking care of elderly that are at home, providing them with information and with communication channels, and we will add other challenges. Until these additional challenges are up, if you have anything that you want to contribute on, or if you have any idea, feel free to suggest things on Discord. We will add more challenges and we will add more mentors per your requests. We have connections with a lot of companies with a lot of different fields. We've done hackathons with medical companies, with food companies, with tech companies. We can make anything happen. So if you have any idea on how you can contribute to the coronavirus crisis, form a team, suggest an idea, suggest a challenge. We are your resource. We can bring you mentors and we can connect you with potential clients to make it happen. This is not a regular hackathon competition in which you participate for a prize. We actually want real solutions that we can implement later on and actually help people around the world. Joining us is also Dr. Hilla Ben Pazi. Dr. Hilla Ben Pazi is one of the mentors of this hackathon. And she was the one who originally approached us with the two challenges that are already on the hackathon website. I will let her introduce herself in a few minutes, and you will also be able to ask her questions. But before we move on to Dr. Ben Pazi, I would like to know if you have any questions about the way the hackathon is structured, one of the platforms, or if you have any suggestions or requests. You can just unmute yourself and speak. Okay, so I see people in the chat asking for a link. So the main website for the hackathon, I'm sending the link here in the chat. So we have one site in English, and we also have one site in Hebrew. So if any of you ended up here without passing through the site first, so go on the site, it has the information on the challenges. We're going to add more information. We'll also have a recording of this webinar on the website and in the Facebook group. Once you register on the website, you will get an email with the access to the Discord channels. Alon is asking if it's possible to record the sessions, the daily sessions. Yes, it is possible. We're going to record them and you're going to get them on Discord in the Hackathon Facebook group, and they will also be up on the Hackathon website, including this session. Any more questions? Please write them in the chat or open your microphone to speak. Yeah, Kinat is asking how the groups are formed. Sorry, I probably missed that part. I'm going to repeat it very quick. You can either create a group of friends and colleagues, people that you already know, have them all register to the hackathon and work with people that you already know. Otherwise, you log on to the Discord platform using the link that you got when you registered or that we sent on email this Saturday. And there you can find teammates using the team building channel. If you're asking, by the way, regarding the composition of the teams, where it's totally up to you and it has to do with the type of challenge that you've chosen to work on. So if you're working on one of the two challenges that have to do with infection, you are probably going to want someone with medical background or with background in chemistry or materials on your team. If you're working on something that has to do with solutions for the elderly, then you're probably going to want to go to the more technological side. So it really has to do with what kind of problem you want to work on. I hope that answers your questions. Please let me know in the chat if it doesn't. I'm waiting for more questions. Kineret is asking if the challenges are limited in time. So right now, you have to remember, we have to work on things that will help the world, and the world cannot wait. We have people, we have countries which are in war situations like Italy and Spain, and other countries will join them very soon. So the sooner you can submit a project, the better. We're planning to have each challenge up for 1 week. So if you're working on one of the challenges already on the website, the deadline will be next Sunday. If you want to work on something that is not on the website yet, make a suggestion. We will make a challenge out of it. And also it will have 1 week for people to submit and suggest their ideas. If we see that we need more time, that the challenge was more complicated than expected, we will add more time. Don't worry. At the end, it's not about winning a prize. It's about doing something for people. I see more questions. So Ran P is asking, what is Shawi again? Shawi is a hackathon management system. On this platform, you will register your team. You will say, we are team X, and the team members are A, B, and C. And using this platform, you will also send your actual projects, whether it's a presentation or a document or a piece of code. This is where the actual submission happens. And we will provide all the details on Discord, including detailed, like step-by-step, what you should do. So this is gonna go up in a couple of days. Ronen Shemesh is asking, I'm a life sciences expert. I believe I can contribute to more than one team. I also have some novel knowledge on the infection mechanism, anything to help in. So yeah, Ronen, first of all, there's no limit. You may join more than one team if you want. Also, it sounds like you can have like widespread contribution. If you want to become a mentor in this hackathon, we would love that. Please message us on Discord with your details or using the contact form on the website, and we will see how to take it forward. Daphne is asking if there's a template for the project report or submission. Yes, we will give you a suggested template. It's going to be like a set of questions that you would have to answer. You will get it also on Discord and in the Facebook group. Your submission has the minimum requirement is to answer these questions, but anything you can add to it, any more proof or things you can show, it will help us see if your project is viable and if it meets the criteria that we have posed for each challenge. Ronen is asking, I have a novel way to find a probable drug. Is that something that can be of interest? Only will take a lot more than a week. Developing a drug is something that is, I guess, outside of the scope of what people can do in a hackathon. Please contact us directly and we will make sure to connect you with relevant people whom you can work with. If you have anything that you want to work on, by the way, this is in general, if you have any knowledge or any connections that you know of, or if you know of companies that are working on things that may contribute, but they don't know whom to approach, please contact us. Let us know. We can connect them with the relevant people in Israel, at least. We can try also to do it outside of Israel. More questions? All right, so if there are no more questions, I would like to ask Dr. Hilla Ben Pazi to introduce herself, talk a little about the challenge, and maybe answer your questions.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for your commitment. I don't know if Gil said, but I think that we as doctors, this is a new encounter for us and a new challenge. We are used to deal with things we have data about, and we know the clinical process. And we do have some knowledge about the coronavirus, but it's formulated as we speak. So everything we know and we would like to share with you, you have to take it with a grain of salt. because there's a lot of things. I think you need to use the information into three categories. Things that we know for sure about the coronavirus, things that we don't know and we will not know until the end of the outbreak, and the things are in between. And it's very important to be careful with fake news, because there are lots of unbased theories that have not been proven and cannot be relied on. So the point is, what we set as a challenge, we don't know if there's going to be a need, and we don't want to have panic, but this is a great challenge because, for instance, up to now, we know that there was no way to prevent infection within the household. So one could say, why put it as a challenge? Maybe we just should give up on that and not put it as a challenge and just accept it. But I think this is what the hackathons are all about thinking outside of the box. And then the other challenge is about, reducing humidity. Now, this is a very challenging topic because it's problematic to reduce humidity. It's a topic that is well researched. However, how to implement this into, a lot of households, and how and when, and if it's effective, it's again, it's a challenge. So as you see, the medical world is facing uncertainty, and we are these requests, or this hackathon is based on uncertainty. So even the experts, you're going to have, some questions we can answer, but some of them we just have no idea, and you'll have to work with that.
All right, thanks. Are you ready to take some questions?
Sure. I don't know if I can answer them though.
We'll try. Okay, so if you have questions for Dr. Ben Pazi, please write them down in the chat. We have a first question from Noah Lapidot. Noah is asking if you know whether commercial home air purifiers assist in any way.
So we have mentors that I'm a pediatrician and a child neurologist. I have no education, no background in ventilation whatsoever. When we put up this challenge, we had someone who is a mentor and is a specialist. And yes, there are commercial ventilators, and some of the household things probably do have some effects. I don't know to what extent and what exactly. These are questions that should be asked, but these should be addressed to the other mentors. I can try to answer medical questions.
Yes, so we will have a mentor that specializes in this topic later this week. We'll let you know. Until then, Noah, please write the question on Discord under the challenge, and we will send it to the mentor and have an answer for you. Additional questions for Dr. Ben Pazi. You can write them down in the chat. Ofer is asking, Ofer is actually saying, I have a way to do Eli, is that on your side, the noise?
Yes, I'll get back into the class. Just a second.
No, you stay with the microphone open because you have to answer. I have a way to deactivate viruses and bacteria in the indoor space with the variable ray of death light to the objects. Is that a question, Ofer? Ofer, if you want to consult about the way that you are describing here, please write to us on private on Discord or on email, and we will arrange a private conversation for you with the relevant mentor. Thanks. Any additional questions? So a user called We Love Africa is asking, what do you think about open source and DIY ventilators? Again, Dr. Ben Pazi is not from the ventilation. He's not a ventilation expert. We'll have an expert on this topic later this week. So questions that have to do with ventilation, please put them up on Discord and we will make sure you get an answer. Iran is asking something that Eli, you might be able to answer, is asking, how do we know if a homemade product is safe enough to use?
This is a very good question. Usually there is what we call מכונות תקנים, and there are ways to test safety. Generally, I think that if you take something that is already in use and you replicate it in some way, it could be okay. And also, if you don't use any chemicals or anything that could be severe, there is a problem reducing humidity, because when you are in extremely dry area, the eye gets dry and irritable, and all the, the mucosa, you don't feel comfortable. So it's not dangerous, but it's unpleasant, and it's not, so what you do in the hospital, you have rooms with negative pressure, which is sort of taking the air and removing it and circulating it out of the room. You can look it up. It's called negative pressure rooms, and ventilation and isolation. This is what you do in the hospital. There are several rooms in each hospital that are for severe infections. These are considered safe. If you can replicate such a thing to do it yourself at home, I think that is safe. I don't know in terms of engineering and if it's able at all, but this is something that is considered safe and done and is used in the hospital.
Thank you. Ofer is asking if in general they need an approval for safety. FDA processes might be too long to accomplish.
Yeah, so if you don't have, institutions such as Kupot Cholim or hospitals are required to use, are required for safety. But if you do something by yourself at home, based on something you read on YouTube, I don't know if, as a private person, you're taking your own risk. It's going to be difficult for companies, for instance, to do something without regulation, because then, potentially they can be sued. But if you, as a private person, I say, well, I found a neat way to replicate and to do it yourself, to have a negative pressure room in your house, and this is how to do it. I don't know if I'm not an attorney, but I don't see a problem here. People do it all the time on YouTube and, Pinterest and how to do things, and I don't think you can get sued by do it yourself.
Thank you. Israel Zimmerman is asking, do you know if we can identify COVID-19 under electronic microscope?
I don't know. I can check, but I don't know. I assume that yes, but why is this helpful in the challenge?
I'm not sure if it is.
Okay.
If it's helpful for you in the challenge, please let us know by email or on Discord. Also is asking, well, it's not a question that I understand personally, but it says, how easy would it be for us to enter to a bioviral class 2-3 lab to check our solution?
You won't be able to do it. Not now. There are not enough labs, and these labs are already doing a lot of research. I'm not sure it's possible.
Yeah, so you would have to find some means, some other means to test the effectivity of your solution. But as Dr. Ben Pazi mentioned before, we're not looking for things which would be FDA approved and very, we're not taking the high road here because there's not enough time. We're looking for simple solutions. Any level of effectiveness would be good that people can create at home.
And yes, you can see the COVID-19 in the electron microscope, according to Google.
So the user called We Love Africa is asking, we hear on a lack of ventilators in hospitals. Is other devices in the hospital bed are also in need? Before I let Dr. Ben Pazi answer that, as we said before, we're not looking for solutions to provide hospitals because that would be too long a process to approve. We're looking for things that people can make at home from available materials and use at home. David is asking, what do you think about independent home inspection kit that is not 100% accurate?
And the problem in testing, it has to be 100% accurate, because if we're speaking about system of reducing, for instance, people are at home anyway, and we just want to, and the chances today to catch the virus from someone in your household is 100%, and if we can even reduce it to 90%, then you have everything to gain. So you're not taking a risk here if whatever you produce is of course safe.
Hilla, we can't hear you.
Take measures and things that they're not infectious, this is dangerous. So, and it's irresponsible.
I'm sorry, Hilla, can you repeat the last sentence? You were cut off for like 10 seconds.
Okay, so if you do something, it depends on the risk, right? Because if you are at home and you have 100% risk of catching a virus, okay, and then you reduce it even by 10%, you gain something, okay? However, if people are supposed to be at home and they are going to leave their home because they have even 1% is a false positive, that means that you think that you are safe, but you're actually carrying COVID-19, and you are risking other people. That is very bad. So we don't want this, and we don't want to deal with this. This is a medical issue, and they're only going to use safe testing because it's too risky. So what we want to do in the hackathon is at home for the population that is at home, not in the hospital, to reduce the risk of infection. If we can do it, great. If not, what can we do? We tried.
Thank you, Hilla. I think, Eran, that also answers your last question. We want to create something that anyone can build at home without any special equipment, with things that they can buy in supermarkets or in stores that are still open and available to the public. I think this concludes this first webinar. If you have any more questions, or if you want to work on a project that is not under one of the existing challenges, please contact us. We will add more challenges. We will add more mentors, but we will know where to focus on only if you communicate with us. Also, as I said, this is the first time we're doing an online hackathon. If you have any suggestions or any feedback about the way the hackathon is designed, or the way it's running, or the platform that we've chosen to work with, please also contact us and let us know. I invite all the people that are listening on this webinar to go on Discord right now, so that we have a mass of people live, so you can chat with each other, seek new teammates, exchange ideas, and plan the next step. As I said, we will, in a day or two, also connect you with the Shawi platform. That is the platform where you register as a team. You say, hi, we're Team X, and we consist of these and these and these people. And there you can also submit your projects. Thank you. Oh, and the link to the Discord, in case you don't have it, I put it in on the chat. Wait. Now it's in the chat. Please go on Discord now. If you want to text us or any other participants, now is the time to go on Discord. Thank you all for taking the time and being generous with your skills and talents in order to help humanity's greatest challenge in who knows how many years. And hopefully we will get things that actually help people out of this hackathon. Thank you all and have a good evening. See you tomorrow afternoon in the next webinar. I will keep the conversation open for a couple more minutes so that you have the Discord link available, and in case you need help of any other kind.